thank you for joining us today on the New You Show. We are so glad that you're here watching the show with us. It's going to be a wonderful show with lots in store for you to help you become new and meet your goals. That's what we do here on the show. We change lives one goal at a time. And I'm Shay Olivia.
And I'm Alex Zuko.
And today we are going to have a wonderful show for you that is going to focus on many, many exciting things. But first, Alex, you were not with us last time, and today you're here. I heard you were out on the football field doing lots of crazy stuff. Can you tell us about that?
Oh, we were just out there playing, throwing the ball, doing a little flag football sort of thing.
Really? Did you actually gain a touchdown when you were out there?
Well, sure.
You did? What were your goals?
We were throwing the ball around, right?
Oh,
we were just doing a little pitch and catch, fooling around.
Okay.
Yeah, but it was a good time.
Yeah, I heard Nelson and Kendall, I heard they had a blast playing with you. They said that they were the better players. Is that true?
I don't know about that.
You don't know about that?
I don't know about that. I throw a pretty wicked spiral.
Do you?
But, you know, I'll let them take the credit. They're better players than me.
You know, it's always he said, she said, but everybody always thinks that they're the best, right?
I was pretty good at the swing set, though.
Where are you?
That's where I ruled.
Being like a kid again, that must have been really fun. Well, I want to just tell you, viewers at home, having fun is really key when it comes to your goals, too. And one of the things that I'm so excited about having you on the show today, Alex, is to learn a little bit more about your goals. So when you were thinking about the new year and planning out your life, what were a couple goals that came to mind for you?
Well, two of the goals that I chose, well, it's actually one goal, but the goal that I chose was to produce and get my 2 shorts rolling. Get them done and completed this year.
Okay, cool.
2 short films.
2 short films. Yeah, for those of you at home who are not maybe theater buffs like some people over here. So 2 short films at home, that's really cool. What made you decide to do that this year?
Well, last year I wanted to do that, and I was always like, oh yeah, I'm going to get those done. I'm going to make those, I'm going to get them produced, we're going to get them shot, we're going to get them complete, and never did it.
So one of the things that's so exciting, though, about goals is that we pick them up and then we drop them. We pick them up and then we drop them. So it's exciting to hear that you said you wanted to do that, but you just didn't do anything towards it last year.
Did
right?
nothing towards it.
Nothing. But isn't that cool that each day we have the opportunity to be new, right? Each day we can decide to do it again.
Exactly. It's just that easy.
It's just that easy. And this year for you, then, you have these 2 wonderful goals. And so when you sat down and you thought about how to accomplish them, how did the how come to? So what did you think about in terms of the method and the way that you were going to accomplish these goals?
Well, I looked at what it was I wanted to accomplish. So I want to have these 2 shorts produced by the end of the year. And I actually picked by the end of September because I wanted to then submit them to film festivals afterwards. So I picked when I wanted to get them done by, and then I've broken down like what steps I need to have done by when.
Right, yeah. That makes sense. And that's important to actually think through it, right? So part of our planning process is just thinking, not doing anything, right? And so did you set out time to think through what you want to do? Like, did you just sit down and like have quiet everywhere and say, okay, I'm just going to carve out this time to think? And it sounds so simple and crazy, but just to think and plan is really important, I'd imagine, huh?
It is. I like to think with music on, so I don't go completely quiet, but I do remove a lot of distractions. And I look at the calendar and I look to see what it is that I need to accomplish and by when, and then break it down into goals that I can actually bite off and chew instead of looking at the mountain.
Right.
Right? I've got small little pieces to do.
That's right. And so speaking of the mountain, it's like climbing up little by little in terms of getting all the way to the top, right?
That's right.
So that makes a lot of sense too. When you think back in terms of the last few years of your life, Alex, do you feel like there was a new you moment that allowed you to change and be different, where you were like, enough is enough, I'm tired of doing the same old thing, kind of like some of our community folks at home, right? Just tired of not getting the kind of results that you want. Have you had one of those moments where you remember it was kind of like a new you moment?
Well, I noticed from a commercial that I did last year for Lotto that I had a little more weight on me than what I would have liked. So I kind of sat down and figured out what it was that worked in my schedule to do. So I got some in-home training. I got a course online and worked on that, and have changed my body in that short amount of time.
Oh, kudos to you. Congratulations.
Yeah, so I lost about 10% body fat and put that on in muscle. So my body weight actually hasn't changed, but my body dimensions have.
Interesting, very interesting. And I'm glad that you mentioned that because our special guest speaker, she's going to be talking about that for those of you at home. So if you had a goal similar to like Alex, right, where you wanted to change how your body was a little bit, this super wonderful guest is going to talk so much about that and help you at home change your body if that's what you want to do too. Alex, I have another question for you though.
Go for it.
As you thought about all of the goals in your life and you thought about your new you moment, you know, how do you feel like people should get past that stuck in a rut situation that they might be in?
I think the easiest thing to say is get into action.
Yeah.
You know, whether it's scheduling time to figure out what it is you need to do, or it's just scheduling time to do it.
Everybody has a dream, but a dream becomes a goal when you put some great principles and tools to it, and we will be your biggest fans and your biggest cheerleaders to help you reach your goals, changing your life, again, one goal at a time. Email us today. Now, back to the show. As you thought about this goal of changing your body and getting it to the way that you wanted, how did you think through the SMART principles, right? So for those of you at home, we talked about the SMART principles last week, right? It was SMART. S stands for being specific, very specific and simple in terms of what you want to do with your goal, right? Those small steps at a time, kind of like what Alex mentioned. Then we talked about M, right? Being measurable, super important to be able to track your goals and make the progress that you want and monitor them. And then A, they have to be attainable, we mentioned that. R, you're driving for results. You want results for your goal, otherwise why do it? And then T, it has to be trackable. So as you thought about this goal, how did you go through kind of that scenario? And you may have called it something else, right? Or done it a different way. But how did you apply those steps to get to where you want it to be?
Yeah, well, I scheduled time every day. So the workouts were between an hour and a half in length, with warm-up and cool-down included in there. So I scheduled that time, and I changed my diet to fit with the nutrition plan that worked. And then also I took measurements so I could measure my progress every month as I went. So from bicep size to thigh size to waist size, and then I was able to track those as my body adjusted to see, you know, have like progress points, be like, yeah, wow, that, you know, the work I did that month really paid off.
Right.
And the first time was a great surprise.
It was a great surprise because you were like, I'm looking good, right? I feel good, right? Something like that.
Well, I didn't really notice a change. I knew that I felt better and I could do the workouts and get through them without having to stop and stuff like that. But my body weight wasn't changing. And so I was like, what's going on with this? And then when I did the measurements, I saw that the first month I lost about 6% body fat.
Wow.
Which, you know, was fine because if my body weight doesn't change, it just means I'm putting on muscle instead of, you know, I'm putting on muscle and losing fat.
And you probably saw the footage. You know, Tara, our fellow co-host, she too had a goal that was similar to that. And she lost 40 pounds since September. And she started her New Year's resolution early because that's what she wanted to do. And so she is just doing phenomenal in terms of her goal, just like you are. And then Nelson wants to be more fit, more tone. And how would you encourage them if they were here with us today? In fact, they are going to be listening to you when they watch the show. How would you tell them to accomplish their goal?
Choose a program that works. Find something that works in your schedule and your calendar and make it happen.
Why do you think, Alex, that people fear success?
I don't really know. To me, success is an interesting thing to fear. I can understand being afraid of failing. And so I want to reach a goal and I'm afraid of what's going to happen if I fail. But the concept of being afraid of success doesn't really make sense to me.
Yeah.
Because it's like, I want to reach this goal, but I'm afraid of reaching that goal. It's a concept that doesn't hit home for me.
Yeah, me neither.
But the concept of like, I'm afraid of failing there, and that's what my failure to success is, I understand.
Absolutely.
For that thing, but.
Absolutely, I understand that too. And I think a lot of people quit all the time, and they really shouldn't be quitting, but I guess fear is what makes them kind of just quit. Cold turkey, unfortunately. And then when you think about foolproof techniques, are there any that come to mind that can really help catapult people into making some progress, some traction in their goals?
I think foolproof techniques come back to the scheduling. I really think that if you schedule yourself and you plan, that's a foolproof technique for yourself.
So this was great information, Alex. I mean, foolproof techniques that can work for anybody, regardless of their goal. planning your work and working your plan and scheduling it into your life, right? Scheduling in some time just to plan. These are helpful for anyone, whether you want to lose weight or you want to be a producer or you want to do something else that ties to your goal. Like for me, playing the guitar. I'm going to use those same simple techniques to accomplish my goals too.
Welcome to Kendall's Kitchen on the New You Show. My name is Kendall and I am your host and your chef for this evening's very special night. It is a date night, so I have planned a very special dinner, but I invited a special friend of mine, Miss Shay Olivia. Because this is date night, it's a special night, I'm going to prepare sauteed spinach. We're going to have some ribeye steaks. I've got some potatoes here. We're going to double bake those. We're going to add some of this Monterey cheddar cheese to that. Some of this bacon sitting over here to go inside those potatoes. You also see there's some garlic here, which will go inside the sauteed spinach. There's some shallots that'll punch up that flavor again. And then the Worcestershire sauce. We can't have a steak without Worcestershire sauce. But some of the final ingredients rounding us out are some red pepper flakes, some salt, pepper, sour cream, and then what's a potato without butter? I've got a couple of potatoes here. The oven is already set to 400. You want them to be at least 3/4 of the way cooked when you pull them out of the oven because they do have to be stuffed, but then they're going to go back in the oven to finish off. So I got my potatoes. I'm going to put them in the oven. Like I said, the oven is already set to 400. All right, so let's get started with chopping up some of these vegetables here. Like I said, we've got garlic. Garlic actually, guys, is a pretty good vegetable, if you will, or root. It has a lot of good properties in it, a lot of good flavor. And when I slice the garlic, it actually will allow me to put pieces of garlic through the steak. The garlic is actually going to cook down in the steak. These are just some beautiful steaks. They are farm raised, no hormones added, no special injections. The garlic that I've sliced, as you can see, just going to push down in the steak. So we've got the garlic in. Next thing we're going to do is hit it with some Worcestershire sauce. Just a little bit, and you don't want to do both sides of the steak because the Worcestershire sauce has its own specific flavor. The Worcestershire sauce is on. We're going to hit it with kosher salt. I don't like to use the iodized salt or the normal table salt because that is too salty. So we've got the seasonings on one side. We're just going to flip it over. Throw some salt and pepper on the bottom. So Shay, what do you think of these steaks so far? You want to come in and take a look?
Absolutely. I think they look fantastic. And in fact, I see that we left a little bit of the fat on, but we could trim those up for a little bit more healthier appearance. Is that right?
You could trim the fat off the steak just a little bit, but the thing about a steak, when that fat gets on that heat and it melts down those juices, you don't want to get rid of that. That's why I said I don't do this all the time. This is date night. This is a night where you're probably going to want to splurge just a little bit.
Yes. Nothing's wrong with splurging.
Nothing's wrong with splurging, and you just got to eat with portion control, you know?
I agree. And these are big portions, might I say. Definitely manly portions. I probably would need about a palm size, which is what's recommended for healthy eating, too.
Yeah.
But this is fantastic because you can do it for lunch and probably for dinner and probably for leftovers for the next day.
Either that or you just don't eat breakfast, don't eat lunch, and have yourself a big dinner.
That's right.
So they're all seasoned up. They need to sit in this bag or wrapper probably another 20 minutes or so. Ideally, you want them to be room temperature.
Okay.
You don't want to put a cold steak into a screaming hot pan because it's going to boil. You got to get this bacon on. Like I said, the potatoes take about an hour, hour 15 minutes. They've probably been in there about 20 minutes.
Okay.
So now it's time to get this bacon, and you know, I'm from New York. I eat pork bacon.
Now Tampa Bay can experience the real taste of Chicago with Full Circle Pizza and Grill's authentic style deep dish. Available Sunday through Thursday, with all other pizzas available every day of the week. And you won't just find pizza on their menu. From burgers to wings to soups and salads, Full Circle Pizza and Grill offers a variety the whole family will love. Come enjoy the fun atmosphere or carry out and make it a movie night. Located at 18651 Bruce B. Downs Boulevard in Tampa.
We're back from commercial and welcome back to the New You Show. Again, my name is Kendall and this is Kendall's Kitchen. I'm joined by my friend Shay Olivia. While you guys were gone though, I did get some bacon cooked up.
These are gorgeous.
So what we're looking for is a sizzle when I put this in. We just move some of this butter around, make sure we get good coverage.
Okay. Ooh.
So that's what I'm looking for. These steaks are on a medium-high heat. Like I said, they're about 3/4 of the inch thick, so they're gonna take probably 5 to 6 minutes each side. About that time, we'll take a peek at them. We should see a nice brown crust on the outside. Yeah. Once we see that, we're gonna flip them. Now it's time to finish off these potatoes.
Okay.
They've been in this 400-degree oven for about an hour to an hour and 10 minutes. So we are now going to get the twice baked part going, and what I have to do is get this potato scooped out. It's a bit hot.
Okay.
So, but really all I'm doing is trying to scoop out as much of the inside as I can. So what I did do was get some sour cream out. We're going to dump the sour, oops, I'm making a mess. We're going to dump the sour cream out. We got the cheddar cheese, cheddar Monterey Jack going in.
Yeah.
You cannot have potatoes without salt, a little bit of salt. Again, it is kosher salt, guys. I don't cook with the iodized salt, which is your table salt, because it does add too much salt.
Too much, okay.
Too much salt. I'm going to set that to the side. Give this bacon just a quick chop.
Quick chop?
Just a quick chop.
Okay. This is looking so creamy and wonderful. And so how small do we want to chop the potato pieces? Does it matter?
Well, because they're double baked, they're already going to be almost like a mashed potato consistency, but I want to make sure that I get them small enough so that when you bite into them, it's not this clunky hard piece of potato.
Got it.
Also, with the cheese in there, the cheese is going to melt down, it's going to be bubbling up, and you got yourself twice baked potato. Going back into the same 400-degree oven, probably for another 20 minutes. At that point, the potato is going to be completely done. All right, so the steaks need to sit out there for a couple of minutes, let the juices redistribute. I'm gonna put these potatoes back into our 400-degree oven. They're gonna take another 20 minutes or so. Then we have double baked, fully loaded baked potatoes to go along with our steak dinner. The spinach is gonna be sauteed in this pan. The cast iron is gonna be very hot, and I don't want the spinach to burn. Also don't want my shallots or the onions to burn, which we chopped up earlier today. So they're going to go in this pan. We're going to let that work for a couple of minutes. Stir it around. You can probably smell those flavors coming together. This pan just has garlic in it, a tablespoon of butter, and some shallots. Again, the butter is unsalted because we've salted just about everything we've cooked today. And then the spinach itself will have a little bit of salt on it as well. So, this has been going for about a minute, maybe a minute and a half. You can see the garlic is starting to brown up. At that point, let's get the spinach in. Nothing worse than burnt garlic. The spinach is not going to take very long at all. It'll actually start wilting down as it cooks. You can probably see it wilting down now. I mentioned that we had some red pepper flakes because we want to bring some flavor, some heat to this element. So we're just going to sprinkle a couple of red pepper flakes in there. So the food is done. I'm just about to plate up our dinner, Shay. This again is a date night.
Oh, yes.
There's your spinach. I can smell the garlic.
And it looks
and
wonderful.
The scallions on there. The red pepper flakes come along good. The steak. And there's the juice that when we let it rest, all of those wonderful juices came out. That's your juice for your steak.
That is wonderful looking.
And let's see what kind of potato we want to give you today. So I think this will do for you.
Here's a...
So that's for me?
Yes,
Oh, thank you.
And how's that?
That is good.
That is wonderful.
It's got the right amount of salt.
Is it?
I can taste the garlic in there. There's some pepper.
Can't wait to taste it.
That's good.
Welcome back to the New You Show, and with us we have Alisha from Advocare, and she's going to help us kind of work through some of the fitness goals that we talked about.
And for those of you at home who have a similar goal, like Nelson, you want to be more fit, like Alex, where you want to be kind of different, you want to change your body so it works for you, or like Tara, right, who dropped 40 pounds, all of our team here at the New You Show, this kind of person, right, a fitness trainer. This is the person who's an expert who can help you kind of accomplish your goals. So let's listen in and see what she has to say. So Alisha, can you give our community at home like a little bit of a flavor for what you do?
I am a personal trainer as well as a spin instructor. I write up nutrition plans for people, and I also write up workouts.
Wow, that's a lot, and that's a mouthful.
Yes, yes. We also, my husband and I, have a health and wellness business, so we're able to add supplements in with our training programs.
Wow, that's so exciting. That's so exciting. And how do you help people then become new, right? When someone comes to you and they say, I have a huge goal, Alisha, can you help me? What are kind of some of the steps that you take to help transform them physically and mentally to help them be ready to accomplish that goal?
Well, first thing I do is sit down with them and go over what the goals are that they have as far as weight loss, if they want to lose 20 pounds, if they want to lose 30 pounds. And then I follow up with a plan, a nutrition plan for their lifestyle.
That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. Wow. And when people have kind of that fear and they don't want to start, or it's hard to get them to stick to the plan, what do you do to help kind of push them to the right direction and make them not quit?
I reassure them that I am here as to hold them accountable, to keep them going. I call them, I text them, I keep them going every day.
Wow. Wow. Well, one of the things that's really cool is that Alex mentioned that he did online training, right? So it sounds like you do a little bit of that too. Was that hard for you, Alex, when you were doing the online training, since you didn't have someone physically there helping you?
It took me figuring out what would work for me and then scheduling it. And I'm pretty good about sticking in my calendar because I've seen what happens when I'm successful with it and what happens when I'm not successful with it. So imagine the same thing with clients. To get it scheduled and they can rock it.
Yes. Yes, that's perfect.
I would imagine that it must be really tough when you don't plan your time out to stick to the schedule, right? That's probably really hard. If you don't put it in your phone, if you don't put it on your calendar, if you don't keep it like locked in your mind that no matter what, I've got to accomplish this goal, then it's really hard to fall off the track, I would imagine, right? But not only is working out and keeping with the plan good, supplements you said are good too. So can you talk a little bit more about your business there and what you do with supplements, and why are supplements important anyway when someone's working out?
We actually have supplements for energy, weight loss, and performance. So what we do is we write up, as we're writing up the plans, we ask each client individually, what are they looking for? Are they looking for more energy? Are they looking to lose 20 or 30 pounds? Or are they looking to, become buff and muscular?
That sounds good. And you know what's funny too, sometimes people think fitness trainer or personal trainer and they only think buff and muscular. But quite honestly, it's about health, right? Why is what you do so important to helping someone become new? Can you share a little bit more about that, the benefits of being fit?
Just with everything, it's, fitness is important for everything in life. As far as spiritually, mentally, you're able to focus, you're able to, you have the energy to do things with your family.
It's true.
So it's very important.
It is. It is super important.
I think it also changes, it helps change your mindset.
Yes.
Makes you happier, makes you more pleasant. You're feeling good about yourself, and it puts a more positive spin on your days.
I'd agree. Yeah. So it reminds me of something that Tara said. So for those of you in the community that tuned in last week, you'll remember that she said how losing weight actually helped change her mind. Let's take a look at this clip and see what she said.
And keep just, envisioning in my mind. So, getting your body right is about getting your mind and your spirit right as well. You have to start with being your own biggest fan. I think you have to just start to look yourself in the mirror and say, enough is enough. Let's be the best me I can be. And for me, it was about taking the next step, just showing up and just feeling better about myself and thinking better about myself, and just one step after the next, it starts unfolding for you.
Wow, isn't that something, how the mind has to be really in tune with our body in order to accomplish our goals? Do you think that's true for all goals or just the fitness goals?
I think that's true for all goals. I mean, business goals, you have to have that mindset that what you're doing is important and what you're doing, is purposeful.
There's nothing like helping someone meet their goals. And if you're a business owner, you have a unique opportunity to help others change their lives one goal at a time. We are always looking for business sponsors that want to contribute to the show and be part of the journey of transformation in others. It's such a wonderful effort that we all get a chance to partake in that helps us to have new results, new communities, and new people as a result of your efforts helping us with this show. So if you'd like to be part, call us today and don't delay.
So what is it that you at Advocare want to build for the community, especially our New You community?
In Advocare, we build champions. So we are bettering lifestyles of people so they are able to have a new you moment.
That's exciting. Wow. Everyone needs a new you moment.
What do you mean by build champions?
We create a community of people that generally love and care about other people and what their goals and their fitness goals are.
That's cool. That sounds very different than a normal gym situation where you kind of come in and do your thing on your own. You're building a community. Everybody kind of is there to support and helps and encourages.
Yes, exactly.
That's cool.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's what a community should do, right? Should support and build up each other towards their goal, their intended goal. So Alisha, if you were to leave the viewers with anything at all today when it comes to fitness and meeting their personal goals around fitness, what kind of message would you leave with our viewers today?
I would say that there's no better time than now to start building the new you.
So Alisha, for those at home that are watching that want to become new in their body and fitness, right? What kind of lasting message would you leave with them?
I would tell them that there's no better time than now to start on their fitness goals. Another thing I would tell them that it's a marathon, not a sprint. So if you're looking for that better lifestyle change, you need to make sure that you are in it for the long run.
Right. Oh, that's good advice for you at home. Be in it for the long run.
Can you tell us what it's like living in your possibility that you created?
I absolutely love what I do. And when you're able to have fun and enjoy what you do, it builds up even more passion to go and help more people every day. So.
And you live a satisfied, happy day. You go home and you're like, that rocked.
Yes, yes, especially when I have clients that are calling me and crying on the phone and, you know, they're excited because I'm able to help them change their life.
Cool.
Oh, wow.
Making a difference.
Yes.
Yeah, that is so
One goal at a time.
Yep, one goal at a time. That's what it's all about. And so for those of you at home who want to get in touch with Alisha, we're going to tell you how. Thanks again to all of you at home for watching the show today. We had a blast learning about goals and principles that can help you become new. And Alisha, thank you so much for being our special guest on the show today.
Thank you.
I know you at home got a lot from what she said today. And Alex, it was a blast, buddy, wasn't it? We did it again. That was awesome. It was a great show. And again, we appreciate all of our wonderful sponsors for helping support the show and helping change lives one goal at a time. We'll see you next time.
It's a new you, starting today, starting right now, a new day, changes to make, we'll show you how, renew your mind, dear, are you ready to transform, one step at a time, line up in line, new you, changing lives, one goal at a time.